There is a free money loophole that only the rich know about, and it's actually called buy, borrow, die. You may have heard about this from a book by the same name, but we're gonna break it down right here. It's very simple, easy to understand, and definitely something that you should be aware of if you want to become rich yourself. It works like this. The first B stands for buy assets. Now when I say buy assets, I don't mean stocks, I don't mean bonds, I don't mean mutual funds, index funds, real estate, crypto. No, none of those things are assets. Let me ask you a question. If you buy something today and you pay $100 for it, and then tomorrow that exact same item sells for $50, what have you just purchased? You have purchased a liability. An asset goes up in value, a liability goes down in value. You can sell it for less than you bought it for. That's why it's a liability. So the first step of this buy, borrow, die strategy is to buy assets, things that go up in value over time. So what are some examples? Well, one example is your time. That is an asset because you only have so much of it. You can spend it, you can waste it, you can invest it. You're investing your time watching this video right now. You could have been doing something else with your time, but you decided to invest it here, and if you get value out of this video, then you've increased the value of your asset, your time. That's one example. Another example is your health. You can eat junk food all day long and do nothing but sit around, and then you are gonna be miserable at the age of 40, 50, 60. You will regret it. But if you take care of your body, you exercise, you eat healthy foods, you get enough sleep, then your health is going to be an asset that increases in value. It will increase the quality of your life. Your body will feel great, you'll have energy, you'll have stamina. That's an asset. Relationships are another asset. If you treat people well, you show up for them, you help them, you serve them, you make them feel important, then your relationships will grow and they will yield returns on your investment. They will be there for you when you need them. And the same thing applies to your career. If you work hard, if you develop valuable skills, if you learn how to think, then your career will grow and it will also yield returns on your investment. These four things, your time, your health, your relationships, your career, they are the assets that you need to focus on buying, because if you buy them, they will increase in value. But the reality is most people don't do this. Instead, they buy liabilities. They think that buying stuff makes them rich. But it doesn't. It actually does the opposite. It makes them poor, because if you buy something that goes down in value, that's a liability, and liabilities decrease in value. So instead of buying assets, they buy liabilities, and that's the first part of the buy, borrow, die strategy. You buy assets. The second B is borrow. Now, borrowing isn't a bad thing. In fact, the rich borrow money all the time, but it's not the kind of borrowing that most people think of. When you go to a bank and you ask for a loan, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, the bank is going to charge you interest on that loan. Why? Because they own the money, they let you borrow it. But they're gonna charge you interest, so the rich don't go to banks to borrow money. Banks are for the poor and the middle class. They borrow from other investors. And here's the best part about this, interest rates are tax deductible. So let's say you borrow $1 million from an investor. That investor might charge you 5% interest on that $1 million. You get to write off the interest as an expense, which means you only pay taxes on the profit that you made after subtracting the interest. So the rich borrow money so that they can make money, and then they pay off the interest with the money that they made. It's a beautiful thing. And here's another secret about borrowing. Not only are the interest payments tax deductible, but the principal payments are tax deductible as well. So let's say you borrowed 10,000,000 and you paid back 1,000,000 of the principal. That 1,000,000 payment comes off of your taxable income. So the more money you borrow and the more money you pay back, the less taxable income you have. So borrowing isn't a bad thing. The rich borrow money all the time so that they can make money, and then they use that money to buy assets. But there's one more thing to this borrowing strategy, and that's leverage. Leverage is simply borrowing money to buy assets. It's an incredibly powerful tool. Think of it like this. Let's say you found a way to make 1000美元 per month. That's pretty good, right? So the second B, the second step of the buy, borrow, die strategy is to borrow money, but not from banks, borrow from other investors, people who lend money, private money lenders, and then use that money to buy assets, use leverage to buy more assets. Now, the third and final step is the D, and that stands for die, and basically what that means is you want to do these first two steps, the buy and the borrow, so that you can live a life that you don't need money for. Here's what I mean. You see, when you're young, you work for your money, you're broke, you get your first job, you get your first raise, and you think, wow, I finally have some extra money. But really, you don't. You're still working for your money, you're still trading your time for money, you're still trading your energy for money, you're still trading your health for money. But as you get older, you start to realize that money doesn't really matter. You have everything you need. You're no longer working for your money. Instead, your money is working for you. You've created passive income streams. You've diversified your investments. You've taken care of your health. You've built strong relationships. You have a great career, so you're no longer working for your money. Instead, your money is working for you. At this point, you can enjoy your life. You don't need to work anymore. So the D in buy, borrow, die stands for die to your old life, die to your old job, die to your old boss, die to the cubicle, die to the rat race. Live a life where money is not an issue. Live a life where you can pursue whatever you want. You can take vacations whenever you want. You can buy whatever you want without worrying about money. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. We upload multiple videos every single week. Also, if you're interested in taking the next step in your financial education, go to our website and grab our free guide. It's called Steps to Building Wealth. It's a step-by-step guide on how to become financially free.